Felters and welcome. So today is Friday, the big day. It is set-up day for Yarndale in Skipton, which is a 2-day event that I am doing. It's my first ever 2-day event. I've been prepping for it for ages. Go back and see some of my old vlogs if you want to see any of the prep. But the van got dropped off yesterday. I'm just going to show you. Yes, we're in my garage, a really glamorous start, but I've got so much stuff. I can't believe it. I'm so pleased I've got the van. So it got dropped off yesterday. I've just been and filled it up with petrol, had a practice with driving it because I haven't driven, well, I have driven a couple of bigger vehicles in my career, but not that much, and it's not my most favourite thing to do. But this van is automatic and it's quite smooth, so it's not that bad actually. So it's got petrol or diesel in it. It took me about 15 minutes to find where to put the diesel. Luckily I did that at home, not at the petrol station. But yeah, we're just going to start loading up. I've got to go and walk the dogs. Then I'll load up the van, then we'll go to Yarndale and set up, and you are coming with me. Okay, so when I say I've got a lot of stuff, let me show you. This bag's coming, that's coming, all of that is coming. All these bags here are coming. These are most of the bigger display items. Obviously, it'd be nice and flat. That is my new carry trolley. These are the cages for hanging bags on if you've seen me practicing. These are all the kits, and I just want to have enough kits so I don't worry about running out. And I've probably got too many, but time will tell. So this is my first event, and then all of these items here. So you can see why I needed a van. It's ridiculous, really. But yeah, we'll get it loaded up probably in an hour or so after I've done the dogs. Right, there we go. Everything is in. I mean, like, that is full up. That's why I needed a van. So it only took me half an hour. I'm going to have a cup of tea and go through my list properly and make sure I haven't forgotten anything. So here we are travelling down. It's about an hour and 20 minutes, hour and a half in traffic. That's me looking like a van driver. Actually enjoying the van, surprisingly. And this is what you're met with. So it's all the empty stalls. You go and find where you are. I knew I was G15. And the transformation in this place is quite something. That this is the emptiness before, and then afterwards, each of these little stalls is transformed. It's absolutely incredible. So there's a lot of activity in and out. You get between 2 and 7 p.m. to set up, or 2 and 8 p.m. That's the van, just to show you the size of it if you're thinking of hiring a van for any events. So this trolley really saved my life. It was absolutely brilliant. There's a slight uphill, so unloading is quite a lot of work, pulling quite a lot of stuff in. I managed to get a short time lapse, and then the Insta360 decided to keep turning off. But you get the idea of it. So it was like you unloaded everything, then you had to move your van out the way, then you could come back, and it was like jiggling stuff around in the little space to try and get everything up. And you're not allowed to take up the aisle because people are coming up and down with stuff. So this is, over halfway through. Once you get the tables up, it's a lot easier. And this is nearly done, just sort of testing out things, seeing if I'm happy with everything in place. And this is done, and it was about 7:15 at night, so the lights are on, but everywhere's starting to look, all the stalls are starting to look done. So this is, I'll show you in the light again, this is my special backdrop I had at the back, which I really loved. I might sort of pull it around a bit more next time. My big sign went at the back there. But yeah, so this was 7:15, really tired. I thought I'd go and get a quick shot of the hallway out the front because I love it with all the bunting, and then show you the sheep. It's so impressive when you come in, and now they've done flowers as well, but I didn't manage to capture those. But these are all the sheep each year, and I think that's this year. I'm not 100% sure. And then you cover your stuff up at night because of the pigeons and birds. One man panicked me and said one year it rained and water came in, but it was absolutely fine. And so this is me leaving in the dusk, ready to drive home. So it's about 10:30 at night on the Friday. I am back. I got there at 2 p.m. I finished by 7:15. It was about 5 or 6 journeys with the trolley up and down, but everything is, absolutely everything is set up. All the signs are out. I literally don't need to do anything apart from turn on all the lights because I've got quite a few lights, and there's just a few things around the back. The only thing I had a slight concern over was the Wi-Fi because it wasn't working, and then it did work, obviously because you need to connect to the Wi-Fi in order to do card payments. But yeah, it was working towards the end, so hopefully it'll be okay. But everybody will be in the same boat. It won't just be me. But yeah, we have a briefing at 9 with the event organisers, and then it opens at 10. So really looking forward to it. Really tired right now. Looking forward to a bath. But yeah, looking forward to the weekend. So the next morning, I was up at 6 o'clock to walk the Dachshunds because they're a bit difficult. I wouldn't leave them to my daughter. They loved being up and out in the dark. They thought it was amazing. And then again, no traffic on the way there, so hour and 20 minutes to get there. Right, so this is my stand in the daylight. So I've got my cards down there on the outside. I've got quite a lot of leaves and flowers and things. I've got all the Highland cows out the front, which is what I really, really wanted. There's my 3 chickens out there as well. Then I've got kits in a row, punch needle things at the back, which I'll talk to you about later. I only had 2 hanging items. Got all my signs out, really pleased with that. I've put the sheep all together, then the mushrooms, I've got a sign at the bottom. Most things are labelled, and then I've got those little signs for multiple items. This is the demo station, which was really popular, and people did ask, about 10 people asked for demonstrations. Those are the wool bags that I managed to get out. They went really quickly, and then this is the mushroom bunting at the top, which I was gradually adding to. Well, I didn't have much time, but that's a brief sort of shot of it. Then round the back, I managed to fit my table in there. It was really tight. Spare stock ready. And then I got my book. I wanted to record stuff. Bags ready for packing. Boxes for packing sheep, which I did use. Tissue paper, that was if I was cold. I got my tea flask on the Saturday. All the kits are sort of crammed under there, and all the bags are under there. Outfit of the day, I have got my badge on. I got this Highland cow jumper done and matching nails as well. And here's a few shots of people throughout the day. I couldn't record that much, but just to give you an idea of how busy it was. So this is the end of day 1, and I've moved some of the pumpkins up to fill up gaps. At this point, I have sold quite a bit of stuff. I'll talk you through the figures. I managed to get my pin badges out, my stickers out. Like, I put the whale out. He doesn't really go, he's not in keeping with the stand. All those wool bags are gone. I managed to get my 2 pictures out. So I had enough stuff to sort of fill up the gaps, which I was really pleased about. And then we went out and ate that night in the Woolly Sheep Inn, which was perfect. We had a lovely meal. That was myself, Vicky and Kathy. And then I stayed at this Airbnb. Look, they had a sheep chessboard. It was on a lovely farm. So I had pre-booked this a long time ago to stay with my son. Beautiful views in the morning, which I arrived in the dark, so I didn't know how lovely it was. And they had sheep, cows. They also had some ponies as well. This little one didn't want to let me go. But yeah, so arrived at about 9, bought all the rest of the kits up from the van. That's my trolley ready for unloading. My chair, which I never really got to sit on, I did try and put it out. So all the kits are restocked under there, which really, really helped. And my cards were restocked. And then I had my new earrings on, which were from Suzanne. So yeah, I put the chair up for about 20 minutes in the morning, and that was it. I didn't get a chance to sit on it. So this is a couple of other stands that I popped round at very quickly for you to have a look at just before they opened. So if you didn't see the names of someone as I was videoing, I've tried to put them on the screen. But just looking at this one, the Mercery, this is, I didn't know, I had to ask, I said, is it crochet? Because obviously I'm not really a knitter. And she said, yeah. And so they were doing online courses for some of these blankets. And I know one lady signed up. That's just to give you an idea of the size of them. They were absolutely huge. And so you can sign up for online courses with them, and then you can order all the wools from them. But very eye-catching stand when you went past it. Absolutely huge blankets. I'm not sure. They're a bit too colourful for me, but I did love some of the designs of them. And then this is Irish artisan yarn. Just beautiful wools. But I wanted to show you the simplicity of the stand and how it just they let the colours of the wool talk. I wanted to go back and do some shopping here, but I didn't get a chance. Probably a good thing that I was on my own and didn't get to spend any money. But a beautiful array of hand-dyed yarns. But yeah, and I had a quick chat with them. Really, really lovely to see. And then this lady had this bag, which I thought was really nice. This lady had done her hat herself like this. So I just took a few pictures, and I loved the tops of those two ladies, and they crocheted the bag as well. So this is towards the end of day 2. So I'm not packing up yet, but just to show you, really moving stuff around, creating spaces. Those little shelves were empty. Sold one of the pictures. But yeah, it was okay. It didn't look amazing, but again, the mushroom bunting really helped, and people are dwindling now. And then it's clearing up time. It took me about an hour and 15 to pack down, so much quicker. And there we go. And there we are, all empty. Time to go home. And then I've just thrown in some photos of everyone that came to see me, and they were quite happy for me to take their photo. So a massive thank you. We've also got Lulu and Daisy from Felt Wildly, there they are. But thank you so much for everybody coming to say hello. So it's Monday and the garage is all back to normal. So I've got 2 empty boxes, which doesn't look like much, but I had another box full of stuff. And I mean, if you remember, all the kits were there and the wools and everything. And actually, when my husband and my son got home, they said, oh God, it looks empty in here now. I was thinking, well, it doesn't look that empty. But yeah, so it shows that I have, made some room now, sold some stuff, which is always nice. And can you hear that rain? Oh, it's tipping it down. Anyway, I'm just relaxing for today. On Monday, I don't feel too bad at all. My voice was just a bit croaky. And yeah, I'm going to chat to you all tomorrow with all the figures. Okay, so it's Wednesday, back in the office. Everything's been put away. Got to put a few bits on it. See, like the pumpkins. Let's have a little chat through about everything. So, number 1, I met some absolutely amazing people who came to see me over the whole course of the weekend. And you've seen, I took a load of photos. Well, I tried to. I could have taken more, but I just, trying to do it all on my own was tricky. It was, I did it. It was manageable. So I was a bit stressed beforehand. My body was letting me know. So I did feel the anxiousness, and we talked through that in the last one. But it wasn't to meet people, that's not the issue. It was setting up whether the card machine would work, whether my display would look all right. So that's where my anxiety was. But, I know it was there. I know how to deal with it. So try and recognise it in yourself. But I came up with a load of spots in my face. Like, makeup is a wonderful thing. But my body was definitely letting me know I was stressed about the weekend. But everything went so well. So I had an amazing time and met some lovely people. Just to show you, I did purchase a few things and I was gifted a few things. So first off, Suzanne, who I met and you saw me wearing these earrings, she gifted me these from the Peg Loomer, who I showed you. And I struggle to do small things. I have tried to do earrings. Let me show you my attempt at doing a valet black nose earring. Look, you can't wear that on your ear. So I absolutely love these. Suzanne, thank you so much. Denise gifted me this. Denise We had a lovely long chat and it was nice to see Denise, but she knows that I like Dear Emma designs. And this is a crochet. I've got my crochet hooks all in it already and it's absolutely stunning. I love it. And then I think, Kelly, you gifted me this. I'm so sorry if I've got any names wrong. I wrote names down for about the first half an hour and then gave up. I wrote sales down for the first half an hour and then gave up. I could not write everything down. And this is a beautiful mushroom pen. And Vicky and Kath bought me this pin from Yarndale. So it's a Yarndale sheep. I didn't know they do them and now I'm going to have to collect them every year. Dawn from Dawn's Crafty Creations drew me this beautiful picture. And a lovely card, and so she handed me that, so that was really gorgeous. And then things that I purchased, just to top it off, I went and got a project bag from Dear Emma Designs because I just love her work. I really, really do. It's so beautiful. So I got that. That was my treat to myself. And I bought the Toft sheep book. One day, you know, I'd love to be able to get around to it because the sheep that I've got, they've got some of them in there. And then this is, you can't really see what it is, but it's a little crochet flower. This was the stand next to me. Doesn't say what their name is, but they were a not-for-profit organisation, and the ladies really helped me towards the end because there were 3 of them, and so they watched my stall whilst I, you know, quickly popped to the loo. But yeah, so I bought that. It was £7. The Toft book for the sheep was 10 and this was 39. So yeah, that was lovely. I was very lucky. I didn't have time to shop properly. I kind of missed that, you know. But however, so let's go through. Yeah, I was also worried about driving the van, and the van was absolutely fine in the end. It was really easy to drive. It was automatic. Did cost quite a bit because I got them to deliver and pick up, which they haven't picked it up yet. It's Wednesday. The van did lose power on the way home, was my only slight it was my only slight sort of heart-stopping moment. It lost power on the dual carriageway, so I pulled over. The the little coil light was flashing, so I just stopped and started it again and then just drove it home really slowly after that. Very sort of just carefully getting it home. But it was absolutely, you know, easy to drive, easy to park, all those sort of things that you worry about with driving a bigger vehicle. The things that, just to talk about Yarndale itself, it is £20 to get in, and I do think that's a lot of money. Crafts in the Pen is £6. So basically, I'm going to see which one, if they both do similar, I would probably stick with just doing Crafts in the Pen and go to Yarndale as a visitor. The other thing, because I love going as a visitor, so like I said, I really missed that. The other thing was I normally am the kind of person, I'll go on the Saturday morning, get in there at 10, but Saturday was heaving from my point of view of being an exhibitor, and looking out into the aisle, it was chocker. Sunday was far more manageable, far less people all in one go. It was more of a constant flow and people could walk around. Do you know, if I go as a visitor, I might go on a Sunday. Thank you. All right, well done, good job. So I think as a visitor, I would probably go on the Sunday because it was really quiet for the first hour, definitely between 10 and 11. So it was 10 till 5:30 on Saturday and 10 till 4:30 on Sunday. But yeah, it was way quieter for the first hour. I managed to do a quick bit of shopping at about 9:30. I sort of got there a bit early and went round, but not everybody was at their stand, so I couldn't like purchase items. And then, yeah, so Sunday definitely seemed a lot more manageable for me. So things that I sold, all the Highland cows, the little, you know, my little sleeping Highland cows, bar one, which he is like a yarn, he's a completely different, he's done with wool, so I can understand why he didn't sell. My chickens sold. I only had 3, they were at the front, and then I had people come back. About 3 people came back and said, oh, where are your chickens? And I said, oh, they're sold out. So that was surprising. Highland cow head. Oh, what have I written there? Oh, brooches, yeah. So the Highland cow head, I only had 1, and I had 2 people come back and say, where is it? And I'd sold it. The Highland cow brooches, I think I only did 2, maybe 3. And obviously people were wearing them, because I had another couple of people come back for them and say, oh, I've seen a lady wearing a Highland cow head brooch, and she said it was from here, have you got any more? And I was like, oh no, sorry, they're all sold out. And lots of people thought that the punch needle things that I'd done at the top were kits, because they were above the kits. I literally had about 10 people ask for a punch kit from one of them at the top. So I know that confuses people. I'm not going to go into doing punch needle kits. I might do a tutorial on how to do punch needle. It was the Highland Cows ones that were popular. I might do a tutorial on it, but I'm a needle felter. I'm not going to go into kits just because lots of people ask it. It's not, you know, I'm not an expert in punch needle at all. I sold 2 big sheep, you know, the nice display ones, and that was the Jacob sheep, my absolute favourite. Went to a lovely lady, so I'm okay with it if they're going to a nice person. And the Scottish Blackface went to a lovely person as well. The wool bags that I put out, I sold all of those really quite quickly, actually, probably by midday on the first day, because it is a wool show. That's what people go there for. I sold about 5 or 6 of my canvas bags, but that, you know, people looked at them a lot, and they're a nice big visual, those bags. That's why I like them. But I think you all know by now, the number one thing that got people looking at my stand was the mushrooms bunting. It got so much attention, people looking and then reading the tags. I think they thought they were for sale, and then being like, oh, and then they would see the sign, or if I was nearby, then I would explain it, and they would be like, oh, lovely idea, and we would look through them. So thank you. That mushroom bunting is amazing. Absolutely brilliant. I've got more mushrooms to add to it. I'm going to keep adding. I think I'm going to put it up at the top. We're going to have to put some things in the ceiling so I can hang it properly afterwards. But thank you so much. That mushroom bunting was a real hit. Okay, let's talk through figures, because that's what I always like to know about on other people's videos. So I had, no, I'll tell you about that in a minute. So sales on the first day, and it was really, it was heaving. I had people queuing at times, but I did cope. It was, you know, copable. You could do these things on your own, and people helped me off other stores. And then I had my friends there as well, who they were shopping, but they kept coming back, and, you know, so it was lovely. And 2 people bought me cups of tea the next day on the Sunday, which was great because I didn't have my tea flask on the Sunday. So that was so lovely. I think it was Kelly and Val. But thank you so much. Sorry if I got any names wrong again. So on the first day, on the credit card machine, because like I said, I did not record sales, I could not write them down. I sold £1,276.50. And on the second day on the credit card machine, I sold £810.50. And then the cash that I have in my float is I have £550 cash. So if you put that all together, I mean, I've taken out the £70 I have in my float as well. So I had 630 odd or whatever, 620. So the total that I sold was 2,637. I've got it written down pretty much. It's not exact because, like I said, I couldn't write it all down. So bear that in mind, that 1/5 of people paid cash. I think people go to events like this with cash in their wallet. Lots of people were so kind and said it save you on the credit card fees, which are only 2 or 3%. So I'm not too upset by the credit card fees, but that surprised me. So do have a float of money. But yeah, so that was, you know, I mean, beyond, I said 1,000 a day would make me feel happy, and it did. It made me feel over the moon. But let's go through costs. So the van cost 230. It was expensive. The next van, so we weren't going to hire a van for crafts in the pen, but seeing how much stuff I had, we are. But because I had the van dropped off and picked up because I'm on my own and it would be really difficult for me to get anywhere to pick it up. The next van is 130, but this one cost us 230. The Airbnb for the one night was 111, so we won't have that cost next time, and the van will be cheaper. Yarndale was 234. Crafts in the Pen is 110, I think, so a big difference there. I put £50 petrol in, and I'm just putting down £50 for food because I had lunches that I took with me. I took food with me, by the way. I took a wrap for the first day and a chicken pasta salad for the second day, because I knew, even with my friends helping me, I couldn't go and queue for food and leave them for 10 minutes because I had the way in which to pay. I wouldn't leave somebody who didn't know how to do the payment on the iZettle. So if it was cash, they could have taken it. But so I took food and we went out for dinner. So that came to £675 costs. Then I probably sold, again, I don't know exactly, but it's about 50 kits. So if we work on it being 50 kits and then take out the material costs for those kits, that's another £750 to take out. So that leaves you with £1,212, and then take out for all the wool items I sold and extra bits and bobs, I don't know, like the cards that I had printed. Oh my God, those cards, I had them down the front. They all went. I nearly ran out of big cards, and I took a massive wad like that. And then I had some smaller ones as backups. But people took cards all the time. If they didn't purchase, they took a card. And because I put them out the front, if they couldn't get in my stall, they were taking those cards. So that's a good thing. And I've had quite a few kits ordered now. People messaging me saying, because the Highland Cow kits went out of stock, and they're messaging me when they're back in stock. So the residual sales afterwards is still happening. So that takes it down to, so I had 1,212, then take out wool for all the items I sold, say that's 200. So my pure profit would be £1,000, so that's £500 a day. So that's an awful lot, so that's great. But if I was to go again to Crafts in the Pen, the costs would be a bit lower. So we could make that figure better if I sold the same amount. I might not. I think Yarndale, because the people going to Yarndale love wool, they really understood and appreciated my products, and they were impressed. Like the horse heads in particular got a lot of attention. People touch things a lot. You have to learn to cope with it. I don't know, I might put up a please do not touch sign. I'm trying to work out how to word it so gently, because I don't mind people touching. I don't like them pulling. There was a lot of pulling of fleeces and stuff, and I had to sort of re-stab things every now and again, put the fringe on the Highland cows, put those down. And I had so many people were really complimentary about my stand as well and said it looked really good. So that was a big win for me. So I think I've covered everything. I've covered the profits. Oh yeah, so I wanted to say as well, a couple of other ladies that I watch, one wool dyer, when she went to Yarndale, I think she made sales of about £3,000, because she's very honest about how much she sells. And that gave me a benchmark. As a wool dyer, that's what people go for. So 3,000 would have been, a really good benchmark for me to sort of, I don't think I would get up to that, but it's nice to know that that's the kind of figures that people were selling at. And then another wool dyer that I follow, they've been doing sort of about 3 big shows a year. And they said when they did their last 2-day event, I think it was, they made something like £70 actual profit because of the cost of the van, the cost of staying somewhere, the petrol. And so for them, it's not really viable. You really do have to make quite a few sales for these things to be viable. So at £500 a day pure profit, and if you think how long I spent getting ready for that, I'm still over the moon, because we've got that £2,600 has come all back to me because I've paid out for everything already. So that's really good. But I'm having to keep at least £1,000 aside to start paying for all the wools for the next place and the kits and, anyway. So yeah, you really do have to think long and hard. So I did love the fact that I could go and meet people. That was fantastic. They knew where I was. They could see my items. And I had a lot of people that have bought stuff from me, that know me, that follow me, and that came and said hello. So that was really fantastic. But £20 for them to get in is an expensive show, whereas £6 at Crafts in the Pen is a little bit more manageable. And Crafts in the Pen has got a range of artists. So we'll see how Crafts in the Pen goes. But, you know, overall, I have to say, I think the thing that really made my stand look amazing was the mushrooms. So a huge thank you to everyone who has sent mushrooms in, who is sending mushrooms in. The next lot will be featured in the next vlog because I had about 8 waiting for me when I got back. But yeah, this mushroom bunting is going to, it went across and round, but we're going to go across and across and across, I think, in time. But yeah, so that's the report on it. That's how much I made. Let me know your thoughts, whether you think, you know, I feel I did well, but then when it comes down to looking at it as £500 a day, yes, it is good, but that was a lot of work that I did for the £500 a day profit. However, I loved it. So, oh, I don't know. I like going as a visitor. I should stop going on about that. So a massive thank you for everybody that came to say hello to me. That was the best bit. Just meeting people was incredible, and makes my whole YouTube channel really worthwhile, that people enjoy it and get stuff, you know, they learn stuff from it and they enjoy watching it. Yeah, an amazing experience. I don't know if it could ever get any better than that from the point of view of meeting people. I had a lovely time, lovely time. So thank you so much for watching and for being here. And I've got a couple of other videos planned this month, and yeah, a couple of other things to update you on in the studio vlog. But thank you for being here and for supporting my channel. Give me a thumbs up if you can, and make sure you're subscribed if you're not. Definitely subscribe. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.